Hello, welcome to Oz Scalemodeling, and welcome to part 18 of our Revell Level 5 Platinum Edition Queen Mary 2 Ocean Liner build. And this is the first video of 2022, so I hope everyone had a fantastic New Year's and everyone's recovered as we all get back into our modelling. So let's catch up on where we are in this video. And as you can see here, I've got a bit of fibre optics happening. So it's up against a white background, it's a bit difficult to see, but so this area, I'll just slide the ship across so we can have a better look and see. Now this piece is just sitting here, none of this is glued on, but this part here is where this will go. And if I turn it over, you'll notice we've got all this done. It's all finished. Painted all the doors. One side, I think it's this side, is where the pets are kept. So if you happen to go on the cruise and take your dog or cat, I don't know why, especially cat. Anyway, dogs particularly. I don't know if you can take cats. But anyway, dogs are in that area is where they're kept and looked after, and if you're a pet owner, you can go visit your pet. I also noticed on the real ship they actually have a fire hydrant and a lamp post for the pet to, well, pop its leg up against, I suppose. But I'm yet to find that in the kit anywhere. Maybe it's in the photo etch, maybe they have that, I'm not sure. Anyway, so this is all wired up. Now, if you're building this model, planning to build this model, you're watching this video for a future plan to build the model, you're going to have a problem here. So you basically, do the sides and you glue them onto this, which is the roof of that. Now, I will go get that piece because it's actually, I've just painted it because I've had to fix the problem with it. And I'll come back in a second, we'll have a quick look at it. Okay, so the piece that fits there is this piece. Try and get it in focus. It's very bright, so I've just painted it gloss white. Now, you'll see that I've drilled out the little holes where I'm going to put the LED lights across there. Now, the first thing was my mistake was that I actually drilled them all out on the wrong end, so they were all on the bottom. So when I went to fit the piece, I realized I had it upside down. So I had to fill all the holes in the bottom and repaint it and drill the holes out again. Doesn't take long, it's no problem at all. And that's now drying. Now, the bigger problem with this piece is the fit. So, to fit this on here, like it's supposed to, I can't do it now because it's drying in that. It will fit now, but what I've had to do was, when I put it up against there, there's literally 2 millimeters overhang. It's just too big. It's too long. So when I test fitted it, I just test fitted the 4 walls and they all fit together fine. But when they're all glued onto the roof here, they're not as accurate as you think. So there was about 2 millimeters at the end that needed to be sanded back and shaped underneath because of you want it to fit nice and neatly in there. And to get that to fit, and now it does fit. I've tested it, it's all good. So as soon as this is dry, which I'm going to leave till tomorrow because I want it to be really dry, because I've got to handle this quite a lot working on all the LED, all the fiber optics. So I will glue it in position and it'll fit there quite well, and then I'll run my keep saying LEDs, fiber optics through those holes, which there are 5 of them, which are in the right place instead of along the bottom of the wall that are now along the top. And then what happens is all these will get bunched up and go down through those 3 holes I've made into there where the LED strip is, which will send our light up to where we want them on this. Okay, so that's that done. Now, what else have I going to show you? Oh yes, I'll just slide this back. Now, I've painted the funnel and it come up really nice. So there's our funnel all painted up. And it's simple, just black. No problem at all. Now, the top of it, they say, is a grey. Use a different, like a grey. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of soot and just weather that a little bit, make it look like it should look, instead of looking like it is, which is too shiny. This looks like it's never been used. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of soot, and as you'd expect, all up there. But that'll be in the weathering at the end. But that came up really nice. The ship's horns are on there. Yes, they are black, so I painted them black. There's another section to go around here, which will be red with 2 black strips. I don't remember if I mentioned in the last video, but I've run out of the red paint. And it's supposed to be, going by the instructions, a Ferrari red. I've tried, because of the supply chain issue with everything at the moment, I can't get hold of any Ferrari red. In fact, I can't get hold of any paints, Tamiya or otherwise. So, unfortunately, I do have some red here. So I've got a Mr. Hobby. That's a flat red, and I got a Tamiya XF7 flat red. I know they're flat, which I'm guessing that's not going to make much difference, because if I spray the piece with one of these 2, I'm not sure which one yet. And they both look quite similar. One may be slightly darker. In fact, that looks more orangey colour, doesn't it? I probably will go with the Mr. Hobby. It's more red. So I'll just give it a coat of clear gloss, and that'll give it that a normal red gloss effect that I want. Other paints I'm running out of is the grey. So you can just see a bit on the side there. Well, actually, there we go. I used the last drop of grey to paint the top of that. I have no more. I have a little bit in the bottom of the jar to use touch up anywhere I needed to, but no more. And I haven't checked yet, and hopefully there's nowhere else in the ship that I need that grey. It's XF9 Sky Grey. Because if I do, I can't get any. I've checked on the internet, and I've searched about 6 places where I know reasonably local to pick up the stuff, and it's all out of stock. Hopefully I won't need the grey. I haven't looked. I don't want to look. It's okay. So that's happening. So where we're at now is, look at the instructions. So we've pretty much got the 2 sides of the funnel together. That's ticked off. 33 is this part of the funnel, and that's the part that needs to be painted red. So if I do decide to go with the red that I have got, I will paint them. I'll do the black lines that are needed and put them on. We'll get that done. And then we move on to 34, which is placing that in position. I've got a feeling there's a letter D there. That could be that grey I don't want it to be. Let's have a quick look. D is red. It's not red. Ferrari red. Why do they say that? Oh. Okay, so apparently all the base there and there is red. Alright, that's a good thing. And then down here we're white. So, okay, no grey. So we'll get that done. So I'm calculating, mind you, it's been between Christmas and New Year's, so I'm not going to get a lot done. I'll get all this done anyway. There's a few little things that need fixing on this. If you watch the last video, you'll see there's the piece that was really badly bent that I managed to straighten in some hot water. And that goes under there. So I should have no problem putting this together. This is a bit of a mistake here. It just has this painted, I don't know, black or something. Where they got letter M. So M, they want that painted a grey. That's fine. But actually on the actual ship, there's railing across there, and where I guess part of the staff can get in there and work in that area under there, and there's actually railing across there, but I don't think I'm going to go to the trouble of cutting that a hole out and trying to put railing that I don't have. So we might just leave that the way they've got it. Then they'll be putting all that together. Then we've got to work on that sign that I spoke about in the last video. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. And then there's some parts going on top of these decks here on the ship. So that'll be good to get to that stage. All right. I will continue on and finish off this part here. And most likely, if I can, I'll have that actually glued in place. There's no reason why I can't do that. And we can work on the funnel. All right. So just before I go, and we're back in a second. If you're watching this video for the first time, we're up to number 18 now of this series. So if you're planning on building this ship, go back to the first videos and watch the unboxing. You can watch it all the way through the progress and catch up. Or you're welcome to look at the rest of the stuff if you want on my channel. You can go ahead and do that. And yeah, I'll be back in a few seconds to you. For me, it'll be tomorrow. Okay, back in a second. Cheers. Okay, welcome back. So let me show you what I've done here. I've put that front section on. I've cleaned it all up. It fits fine. It's all painted. Got the all the fiber optics running through. So that's all the fiber optics coming through that. I know it looks like a mess, but it does actually all bunch up once it goes down into the ship, which will be through these holes here. I've already test fitted it. There was a little bit of trimming I had to do where one side was just not sitting flush in the corner there, but it should be fine now. I'll do another check. So I'm about to glue this in place. I've got all my clamps all ready here. I've got some also. I've also got some. I'll put somewhere some of this soft. This is like a soft packing material. I'll put that over the top so that the clamps won't damage any of the paintwork while it's holding it down. The main reason it's holding it down is because it is quite a tight fit, but also the fact that all these are all going to be pushing against it a little bit, but it'll be fine. So that's that. Now the idea, once that's all down and clamped down, I'm then going to work on all the railings. The railings are actually, have a look here in the instructions. So for the photo etch instructions, there's all the railings. So what I'll do is I'll take them all off individually like that, place them all out like I do on the using the blue tack, and I'll paint them all and then come back and put them all in place. So that'll all be out of the way and done. This part here is all done. I've done all of this. There's a small piece up near the front of the ship where the basketball courts are, this section here. This also has a railing around it. There's also a couple of little not aerials, but connection points from where the, I guess it's the cables come down for the flags up on the flag posts. So they need to be put on. They're extremely tiny and I don't know if you'll ever be able to see, but so if you can see how the camera goes. So see those near my thumb there? I've painted them white. A couple of little bits that come out of the ground that hold the ropes. And there's also these pieces here with three-pronged pieces. There you go, you can see those. I've painted those on there. They've only undercoated those, so I'll just have to... Oh no, that's white, and these ones were undercoated, so I need to touch them up a little bit. So I'll take them off very, very carefully and place them where they go onto this. And the railing I've got here, which is only undercoated at the moment, and I'll give that the white coat it needs, and that will go around there, and then that can be placed onto the ship, which is a bit difficult to show you at the moment because I've got so much stuff in front of me here. So yeah, so without getting too far ahead of myself, I'm going to get this on and clamped, and then I can start working on some more railings. The funnel, as you saw before, that's been painted. The other parts are undercoated. I'm yet to decide what I'm going to do about the red. Well, maybe I will test paint the piece just to see what sort of color I get. I mean, I could always lighten or darken it a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. All right, so once again, back in a second or two. Okay, welcome back again. All right, so what I'll show you here is I've done this part here. I've got that all fitted on there. It's actually glued down. There's a little bit of light leaking when I tested it with the lights on, but I can touch that up underneath. That's fine. Otherwise, that's come up really well. We'll have a look at that with the lights on in a moment. What I've also done is the funnels. So this is the sort of the shroud that goes around the inside, the outside of the funnel. I ended up going with the Hobby Co. Mr. Hobby Red, just slightly a little bit darker. This side's white, so I've painted that white. I've just done that, so I'm letting that dry. I'll go get the other pieces and we can have a look at those and how that red came out. Back in a sec. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the funnel. There's the outside, nice red. What I found was that the colour's not quite showing up on video as red as it is. It's sort of looking not quite as red, but it is. What I did was I painted the inside as well, so I found that leaving that white was making this not as red as I wanted it. So I've literally just painted the inside of that, so I'm letting that dry at the moment. I've also done this section here red. That's just letting that dry now, and also the two little ladders which are actually red that go up the side there. So you can imagine the black funnel sits here and those two red bits on the side. Okay, so I'm going to let all this dry and we'll come back and I'll show you what this looks like with the lights on it. Back in a sec. That back section there, the lights look really good, and the other side of there looks good. The little green light there looks good, but the one next to it is supposed to be blue. I guess the paint might have come off. I'll have to just touch that up and get that looking blue again. Otherwise, they look nice all the way around. The bit I had a problem with is in this photo where you can see the light underneath. But what I found that when I press down on the deck, because none of this is glued down yet, most of that light goes away, so it shouldn't be a problem touching that up. Now, further down here, also during the light test, cover that, you'll see there's two strips showing through the deck of light, which underneath I didn't paint black right to the edge, because unlike this deck, it hangs over and there was no problem, whereas I didn't realize that, I didn't check, this doesn't have any overhang. So the light from underneath is getting there. So I'm just going to top that up, repaint that black under there, and it'll be fine. Also, the pool lights in there are working good. Try and move that thing so you can see it. Yeah, so they're looking fine, and all very happy with that. Okay, so obviously the smokestack will go on here, and the other swimming pool area is going to cover over here. All right, we're back shortly, and I'll hopefully have some more of the smokestack done. Okay, back in a sec. Oh, one more thing. What I'd mentioned, I don't know if you noticed it when I showed you before, the two holes there. So I drilled those holes in there because underneath I want the light to come up through those holes under here, because these LEDs will be very bright, and that will, I hope, light up the side of the funnel like it is on the real ship. Whether or not I need to put a bit of plastic underneath here and colour it red just to give it that red tinge, or whether the light touching the red paint on the side of the ship will be enough, I'll do that during the test fitting. But yeah, that's what those holes are for. We'll get some light up on the side of the funnel. Okay, back in a sec. Okay, back again, and well, once again I'm skipped ahead to do something different. So I don't know if I showed you, I've had to touch up a little black under there just so that I wouldn't get any light coming through on here. That's worked well. I've also blackened right to the edge on there so I won't get that strip under the decking. Again, that's worked out perfect. And while all that was drying, I thought, well, let's jump ahead a little bit, and I've gone on to having a look at some of the windows that go on the lower deck. So what I've done is I've started here, just looking at these here, where they go, and I'm working out the tint. There's also the longer one in there, which will go along. You can't see, you're looking from above, but those sections there are where they get out of the way and get rid of some of the glare. They'll go in there. Now, what I'm trying to do is work out what colour, what paint I can use. Previous on all the other windows for the balconies, I was using the smoky MIG acrylic crystal smoke. I didn't really like it. It does tint the windows, but not enough, because these windows down the bottom here, and I'll show you a picture I've got off the real ship, and as you can see, they're much darker. So what I've done was I've tested out some paints here. So what I've got is I've used my X1 Tamiya, then I use my, I don't remember what that was, metallic black on here. See how that goes. And then just now I tried a gloss black, which I didn't realize I had. I don't know if you can tell through them, but the metallic black was no good, because it's sort of got the, you can see the metallic in there. It's not going to look nice. The X1 is okay, but doesn't have an even coverage. The gloss black came out really well. It's almost like it's got a window tint on there. Really nice smooth coverage. So that's what I'm going to use. I'll show you some bits as soon as the paint's dry, and we'll have a look at those. So that's going to go in there. That'll sit in there. already test fitted it, and it fits perfectly. That's not it. Get things straight. There it is there. So starting to look good. Now, as you'll see on top of the ship here, I've got these parts sitting here, which is where this will sit. So when the time comes, that's going to go into here and sit down in there in place. But for the moment, put that aside, I've just got these sitting here. So I've sprayed the inside because the walls are brown on the inside here around the pool area. I've also done the glass in the windows with my ammo glue, so that put that nice reflection. And as far as I can tell, they're clear windows looking through there, so that'll be fine. Other than that, I've done the grill effect there with some Cameo black wash. That's come up quite good. So that'll go there. This section here, which sort of leaves the back of the pool area, I checked on the ship and found out that's all brown walls in there, so I painted them brown. These doors are silver, although this is not accurate. There are 3 portholes shaped mirrors actually on either side there, instead of that door. But anyway, you know, how far do you go with, getting things spot on? And besides, you really can't see much of that anyway, because over the top of that will be a glass roof, which I'm not too sure. I think you can either have that open or closed, or both. Slide it open and closed. So also, as I said before, of doing the glass, tinted glass for the sides along the deck there. I'll show you how they've come up. So there's one sheet there, probably a bit of a white background. There you go. So see the nice reflection on there. You know, they're not entirely black. I mean, light will come through them. You will see light in behind them, but it's a really nice black. Now, the difficult part I have to do with these now is see, they have these little raised ridges. You can see it at an angle there on that. All those vertical ones have to be painted white. So they're slightly raised, but really, really difficult to paint. Without, especially because you're doing white on black, and it is so hard to make it look neat. So my first attempt on the long one is this, which, you know, I don't know if I can do much better. I really don't think, even if I masked it up, I don't think I could get this looking better. At least at a distance, it looks okay. It looks fine. And as for these, excuse me, these smaller ones here, for the smaller ones, a lot of that view will be obscured by the lifeboats. So being 100% neat on these, you know, the best I can do is probably going to be fine. But yeah, I just don't think I can do any better than that. Yeah. Anyway, so now what I've also discovered was when I did the light test and turned everything on, I realized that every light in every room is lit up, and that's just not real. Some of these, you know, cabins are not going to be occupied. So I'm trying to think, well, how am I going to blank out, turn the lights off in some of these rooms and have, you know, maybe a dozen on each side randomly turned off. So what I've decided to do is, because they have plastic acetate on the inside, I can't really paint over it and blacken it between there, because the light's still going to get through. So what I'm going to use is some of this Gorilla Tape, it'll stick forever. I know it'll never come off. I'm just cut out little squares, all the size I need to cover the behind these balconies on the inside, and I'll just stick those randomly around and blank out some of the rooms so that it looks like they're not all lit up. Okay, that's probably what I'm going to do after I get some more of these done. See how I go with these, and trying to work out. I might actually mask one up and see if that comes up any better. But it's just so difficult. They're so small. Here's me saying small when I've got 1/700 scale Bismarck and stuff that I've built. Yeah. Anyway, I'll be back and I'll figure out this. Okay, welcome back again. So I've decided to call it a go on this video. We've done enough. I did glue this on. So that's glued in place now. It's looking pretty good. It's come up nice. Touched up a few little faded spots, but it's all good. I put all those tinted windows in a little container here. I'm going to put them aside while I think about that. No rush at this stage to work on those, so I'll leave them. And then I'm going to look at, just bring this forward a bit and have a look. Yeah, so these pieces are just sitting there, but they're all done, painted up, ready to be glued on there actually. And the funnel, next step is gluing the funnel on there. But we'll do that in part 19, okay? All right, so it's been a wild week, Christmas and New Year. Things can go back to some sort of normal. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching this for the first time, go back and watch the beginning of the playlist and see right from the unboxing right through. Please comment below. Comments are welcome. And give us a thumbs up. That helps the YouTube algorithm. And all being good, I'll see you in next episode, which will be 19. Bye for now.